Hey neighbors, and welcome back to another thrilling installment of Initiative Coffee Company presents The Bards Tale, featuring bards. Bards. Okay, I like that one.
That was
nice.
great.
See, I just want to say, see how much we get accomplished when Tyler isn't here?
Because you know what Tyler's response would have been.
We love you, Tyler.
Yeah, we are down to Tyler because he's off feeding homeless children, which I'm not going to get upset about, I guess. That's good for him.
What can one say?
Right. So last time on The Bard's Tale, we endeavored to complete the trial of Skylark the Everfree. He opted into a service-based repayment plan for his crimes that he may or may not have committed, rather than an imprisonment-based service plan. He has been granted 19 labors by the Council of Waterdeep. He now has a tattoo of 19 hash marks up his arm.
Someday this will...
17.
It keeps inflating. Let him
17.
just add another couple every
36
session.
flavors.
17. 17
Someday
hash
this
marks.
will be the model that the U.S. government will impose to make us pay all of our student loans back.
Oh,
And if
Guess
you
what?
don't, they explode.
You're in a tax bracket where you're paying 30%, 31%, 37%.
may the odds be in your favor.
You just got to get creative with write-outs. It's fine. Start a business. It's based off the only hobbies you spend money on. At the end of the episode, Bother Gretchen stormed in,
that's great. Love that guy.
slamming the doors open,
Love that guy.
and
so much.
smirked. Mostly at you guys, I guess. I don't know.
What does this ugly mug look like again?
He's a dwarf named Bother. He's short, kind of like brownish, reddish hair. You know,
He's
a dwarf.
He's kind of...
He doesn't have a great chin. He needs
No,
to change his
it's
last
a family name.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? He's not in charge of his name. He's in charge of
He
his
needs to get
terrible,
older.
terrible behavior. Well, partial. There's some sociological implications there, but he's currently responsible for his terrible behavior. Well,
He's
racist behavior
yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
you'll remember him because he's responsible for eliminating a null threat in Batten
Yay.
and also other things.
Mateus got him arrested once.
Yeah, you dumped a bunch of brains on him, or you made him dump a bunch of brains on a police officer.
I did.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
That's a thing that
Great
our
job, not the
audience
police
didn't know
officer.
about, but that's now they know about it. Welcome to downtime.
Hell yeah.
Anything you guys want to do in reaction to Bother Gretchen storming in the door?
Can I hide?
When you're
I don't
down.
want.
You can duck down in like the seats.
Sure.
I mean, there's
that.
only 5 of you in the room,
Correct.
so like you're not blending in real well to
No.
the crowd because
No,
there
like
isn't
we're
one.
right in
but-
front of him, right?
Hmm?
So I'll just say, it's you.
How are you, gentlemen?
Sharp violin strikes.
I don't know that Ray was there. I wasn't.
You weren't there. You know Bother
So I
as
know
like
him.
kind of a shit starter in town.
Right. But I don't know him in the same context that they know him.
Right. So
And I have nothing to hide.
you know of the context that they know of because he was not quiet about saving Batten.
Right.
He was he's kind of like kind of a wealthier merchant in the Cold Forge, and likes to like throw that around. So he's hired like his own protection force, more or less, that go around on adventures with him, so they can like get some like positive support from the community because they do things like kill gnolls in
Right.
Batten and
That's
other
about it,
things.
really.
That was all that you know of.
So
That's the big one.
I
They're
would
a
just
force. They protect his personal space.
Right.
A space force,
Yes.
if you will.
if you were.
A
wish I
Yeah.
was
bothersome
Space Force.
space force.
No, I have no reason to hide. I'm
I'm
attending
not
a public event.
I'm not
Public
gonna hide. I'm
forum.
just
It's
gonna-
not a public forum. You had a private meeting with the council
I had a private meeting with
that
the
he is
council.
apparently
now privy to.
inviting himself into.
Ah.
Yeah, is that like rude?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
super rude.
Not allowed?
Yeah, it's super rude.
Is that
he's not like
against the rules?
he's not like a not rude guy.
Okay, so
Iona turns around and goes, out!
So is it obviously a surprise to the council people as well that he's marched into this
Yeah,
room?
they weren't expecting
Okay,
him.
so I was under the impression that like his arrival was fortuitous to the news that we had just received.
Yeah, the narrative really sold the fact that something was going to happen, and then he happened, and we thought that was the thing that was supposed to happen.
So now I have a little bit more of a. I'm not hiding.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
I
But
thought
you-
he was
you
like
are-
right there with his
No,
arms
I
crossed
thought
when we
that
walked through the door.
he was walking in as a part of whatever was happening, but now that I understand that he's not supposed to be here.
He is walking in on a seemingly unrelated, based off the reaction of the council, a seemingly
Gotcha.
unrelated consequence.
Okay.
Are you still pointing and shouting out?
Yes.
Okay.
Schedule your own time.
He looks at you and he says, "This is a matter that should be addressed immediately. It's fortuitous that these individuals are here right now. I have some information for the council that might be interesting for them. You see, it seems as if this group has been squandering Commonwealth resources. I have some associates that indicate to me they followed this group of individuals to a town filled with immaterials."
Yeah.
He looks up, he goes, what do you mean? What do you mean, yeah? That's a serious issue.
No, it isn't.
The Commonwealth Fund should not be spent on towns that exist outside the colonies. This is a substantial misuse of public funds.
We just took a detour.
You took a detour.
Privately funded detour.
Privately funded by whom?
The Tritons.
Make a bluff check.
You go, girl.
That
Boy,
is
I believe in
a
you.
deceptive measure.
I believe in you so hard.
But she said it without hesitation.
You said deception, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Woo.
Hey, look at that 20.
The Tritons. They haven't been active on the surface in 1,000 years. Why would they fund an expedition to a town of immaterials?
Are you so thick-headed that you didn't see a giant monster rise out of the sea? You didn't think that this was maybe the time for us to step up and take action?
I'm given to understand that's a myth.
You understand very little.
Wait. Is it Gray Chinbeard who's countering her, or one of the council members?
Yeah,
Great
that's
shit.
okay.
Oh.
Are those the people who are holding the storm up to protect Commonwealth? Are they in the room right now, listening to him being
Yeah.
like?
Well, one of them. Odd is certainly in
yeah.
there.
Who was like,
And she seems mildly annoyed, but you can't tell if she's annoyed at him being like, "No, that's a lie," or if she's annoyed that he would dare to interrupt her.
I kind of, when he says that's a myth, I want to glance at her and go, not you, at Odd.
At Odd.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
No, I want to see what Odd's like.
Because she's been
Is she's gonna react to
working
that at all?
her fingers to the bone trying to keep the storm up, right? Like, we saw her,
More or less. When the beast is rumored to be nearby,
sure.
she and her spouse create substantial storms that trick it into thinking that it's more in line with the plane of water than it is.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is this beast is here to make all the worlds look like the plane of water, and so it doesn't go in the places that already do.
Sure.
Is Odd reacting to his?
She looks at him and she says, "The merits of the so-called Leviathan are in question. We're not sure if it's a myth or not. However, it seems awfully rude that you would insinuate yourself into a conversation that you were not a privy to." He says, "Well, I've thrown considerable wealth into finding threats that could potentially cause issue for Commonwealth."
Sounds like a misuse of funds on your part.
Well, it's my personal funds.
Me, too.
Yeah, he knows you're lying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he rolled
didn't
like a
say that out
20.
loud.
He rolled a 26 on his insight.
She didn't say that out loud. She's allowed to double down.
Sure, roll a
Same.
bluff check at disadvantage.
You said disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, double 20s.
Okay, well the first one's very low.
Well,
so.
it's still not disadvantaged.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been a 20, but it's a 4
Unfortunate.
instead.
Yeah, it's a 4 plus 6, so it is a 10.
He kind of like looks at you and hand waves you, and is like, "I don't need to talk to whatever you are. I don't."
How close is he to me?
I wasn't on this
It's at the door.
particular expedition, Gretchen, right?
Yeah.
That's the family name. So could you clarify for me one moment? You said they was on an expedition that was funded by Commonwealth.
Commonwealth funds.
And where was they supposed to go?
Commonwealth ship went to the south, to a town that
Right.
is not on any maps, presumably to drop off goods.
Yeah, right. And you got a problem with this because of what now? That's the part I'm confused on.
Because the town is not part of the colonies, and colony
Right.
funds should
And
not
how
be spent.
how do towns become part of the colony? That's what I'm wondering
the
about.
colonies
Gretchen.
tend to bankroll them?
Right. And how do you bankroll something unless you ain't discovered it first? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand? Do you know what I mean?
I
now?
get where you're going here, Ray.
Well, see, I wasn't there, so I'm looking for clarification. So your problem, if I'm understanding it, is that they discovered a place that ain't yet part of the Commonwealth,
well, that's
could be
part
part of the
problem.
Commonwealth.
It's part of the problem.
Right. So if you don't spend some money to discover more places that could be part of the colonies, then you don't grow your colonies.
Sure, but this
I'm
isn't
just a
town
simple
that we,
cook,
This
Gretchen.
isn't a town that we would want to be part of the
Right.
colony.
And
This
says
isn't a
says
town
who?
that
Who's
you
been
would wanna
who's
be
been
part of
there?
the colonies
Who's
by.
been there?
My associates have seen the people who live
Well,
there.
Oh, say your associates, and they went there. Why? And how?
Well, they were suspicious of ships leaving port.
Right. So who funded them to go follow the suspicious ships leaving port?
I did.
And did they know where the suspicious ships leaving port was going first?
No.
Well, then why would they just follow some ships? Why would you personally fund a bunch of ships to follow them if you didn't know where they was going in the first place?
Because we're immaterial.
Because he was in charge.
Right. So you was suspicious about something that was approved by the Commonwealth, because that's
sorry.
what this all comes back to.
Have we met?
We've met.
See, I'm not sure I understand how you knew where they was going. It seems to me like if you was suspicious of that you might have known about this island before they did. Am I right? Am I right? I ask you a simple question, yes or no.
No.
Am I right?
And why didn't you just go to the Emerald?
Anybody
Lake
with
instead?
insight want to make a check on that? Because I will.
Yeah.
Go for it, Ray. I
Go.
believe in you. Oh, Ray.
6.
No, he seems genuine.
So you didn't know about this island full of immaterials, this
I
town?
knew that there was some suspicious happenings occurring on a vaguely monthly basis.
And how didn't you know that they was going there to scope it out to be a potential spot for colonization?
Why would we want it to be a spot for colonization?
I would also like to point out.
Is the spot full of natural resources, or is it a barren rock? It's quite simple. Is there value in the spot?
Not any more so.
I
than
didn't ask
anywhere
you
else.
about immaterials. Other than right now when I just said immaterials, that's the first time I said that word, because I don't like it, mate. So what I'm asking you about is this rock. Is it possible that as a location, it would be valuable as a colony? Yes or no?
Not relative to other places that would be valuable as colonies.
I'm smiling and waving at
And
the
how would
council
you
right
know
now.
that unless you've been there first? I proved me
just
case.
went there.
I'm going to make I don't know what you want me to make. Deception or intimidation.
What do you? I guess intimidation.
I'm basically.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
trying
know
to-
what you're trying to do.
You know
I
when
think
somebody
intimidation
looks
is
bad
good.
because they can't answer a question that's like unanswerable? Like
Sure.
basically trying to make him look bad in front of the council.
Sure.
Trying to embarrass him.
Seems
is-
like you're
this is
using
a-
the Chewbacca defense.
So
right
it's
now.
either
You can't handle the
intimidation
truth.
It's
or
gotta be
deception.
intimidation. It's probably intimidation.
All right, either one's at -1. So
Oh,
I have a 0.
you're just shouting really loud.
Beautiful.
So despite you making seemingly very good points, for whatever reason, it just comes off as you being a dick.
Yeah. That's fine.
And
I was prepared.
somehow you end up making him more endearing to the the people around you are like, maybe he does have a point. He's just looking out for the safety of town.
I'm sorry. I'm more hung up on the fact that you seem to know me, but I don't know you.
You absolutely know.
This is another preposterous assertion. I'm out of here. This is an outrage. And I get up and walk out in anger.
That was a lot of yelling. I would also like to point out that we were attacked by the ship that followed us.
No, you weren't.
Certainly we were.
No.
No, you weren't.
Those were elementals.
Yeah, the ship never attacked us. We just lost.
The rest of the council doesn't fucking know that.
No, he's telling you no, you weren't.
No. Odd definitely knows that. Or Odd's spouse.
Villanina
knows about it.
At this point, Odd kind of like looks at the zoo that is occurring.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
In her council room, and she looks down and she says, Mr. Grachin, I appreciate you spending your personal resources. However limited they may be, looking at protecting the village of Commonwealth, and he looks kind of like bristled, and he's like, she says, but I assure you, members of higher houses than your own have bankrolled several endeavors. I don't know much about this town you're speaking of. I suppose we can investigate it as a potential threat, but ultimately, it's not our responsibility who spends what money where, as long as it is not council or Commonwealth funds. He says, well, who was responsible? And at that point, you hear from over his shoulder, you hear Ornath stand up, and he says, I did. It was me.
Thanks, buddy.
Good guy, Ornath.
She says, what? She says, he says, what? It was you? And he says, yeah, it was my personal funds. I invested my retirement in building a town. And at that point, like, Odd kind of looks at him a little bit confused. And she says,
no, that was me.
She says, well, Ornath, I suppose this can't go without consequence. It looks like we're going to have to banish you. And the council's like, yeah, we have to banish him for this. And Grachin's like, oh, well, good. Kind of Brussels walks out, essentially.
What is happening right now?
Ornath is double banished?
No, he's just banished only.
He's just regular banished.
Just regular banished. But
so,
now,
are you asking in character or out of character?
Yeah, I'll let it slip
Sure.
in character. What the what?
we have a public witness.
Can we get back to the matter at hand,
Yeah,
please?
and now we
What
have
matter is at hand?
a public witness to Ornath being banished.
I got a
for
tattoo.
Mysterious reasons. Jesus Christ, Tyler. Yeah, we have a public witness now. So if he goes missing, or not, you're not gonna go missing, but when you leave, it's like, what
It all
happened?
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The bad part is also that Assface back there knows where the island is.
Ass face.
Mm.
That's fair.
She looks at the council and goes,
Sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Like, two of the council members legitimately look confused, right?
Oh.
Like, Odd is realistically the only person on the council who knew about this town to any great detail. So, like, as confused as anybody in the room is, 2/3 of the council is equally confused.
Let's calm down, everyone. Get back to business. What were we talking about before he walked in?
I don't know.
You were about to tell us something. I'm sorry, my brain is scrambled now. You were saying something before.
Well, we just got done getting Skylark sentenced.
Sure.
Did
17 laborers.
17. Didn't you say you had one for us?
Yes, to go find Professor Adelaide Kane.
Right.
Sure.
That's the thing.
I think it's time we
Did that.
stopped wasting the council's time. Thank you.
Sure. Would you like to hear what we know about Professor Adelaide
Yes.
Kane, or did
Yep,
you just want
all the info, where we're going.
Did you want to?
We've never done that before.
Did you want a briefing, or did you just want to go off half-cocked and?
We're really learning.
We've done really well. Going half-cocked so far. But
Well,
sure,
maybe
if you've got
three-quarters
information.
cocked then would be better.
Please, tell us.
They look at you and they say he was last seen in Pabulum, which is an
Wait,
exploration
bless you.
town to the
Spell
north. Paebulum.
Oh, Pablo.
Pabulum.
Paebulum.
Beulum.
Oh no, I missed it
Pablo.
again.
It sounds
B.
Roman.
Paebulum.
It is.
It's Latin, not Roman. Roman is a place and a culture. Latin is a
I
language.
picked the wrong one.
Okay.
Brian. God.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Where is this in?
It's to the north. It's the northernmost town in the colonies.
Oh.
It's an exploration town. It's used to serve as a launching point for mapping the region.
Is this on a different island then?
Yes.
Okay.
The only town on Commonwealth's island is Commonwealth.
Cool.
She says, we have, because Skylark is in service to Commonwealth, we have commissioned a ship for him.
Thank you.
It is small, it is light, but it is very swift.
Does it have a name?
Yes, it is called, wait for it, the Herald of Commonwealth.
Lotus makes this face like she's sad that it's named
Sure.
and is already thinking of a better one.
Well, official records will see it as the Herald of Commonwealth.
Can I bring my pony?
If it fits on the boat,
I'll make it fit.
I'd expect nothing less. But she says Pabulum is an exploration town. We sent a small party up. He had a contingent that was captured by these serpent folk to the north. We sent a small contingent up to free him, and they were successful, and he returned to Pabulum, and then once again left. We're not sure where he has gone.
Okay.
Was he part of the original crew or the rescue crew?
He put together the original crew.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was the person the rescue crew went to find the first time.
So they found.
He has a habit of getting lost.
Oh, so we'll be the third crew.
Sure.
Huh.
So he just didn't come back with the rest of them?
He came back and then he left again. So he was in Pabulum for about 3 months, but
Okay. So he was rescued, brought back here, and then.
not here. To
No, it's
Pabulum.
Pablo.
Oh.
What?
He went to Pablo with a crew.
Right.
Disappeared.
Yes.
Rescue crew went.
Yes.
Found him.
Yes.
Brought him back to Pabulum.
Oh.
Then he went away again.
3 months later, he left.
Got it.
Okay. She says, we have commissioned a ship, but we can't require anyone to crew it. So you will be responsible for finding your own crew.
Awesome. I have some people in mind.
Okay.
Do you?
Does,
Well, how hard can it be to learn
does Kane
sailing?
have a history of mental illness, or is he just a wanderer? What's his...
Kane is an exozoologist, so to speak.
Oh.
He is often in search of rare and unique ingredients for food and medicines. And so his career imposes a degree of wanderlust upon him.
Gotcha.
What does he look like?
I like that.
So we know who we're
Oh,
looking
that's
for.
a good question
Oh.
to ask.
He, so he's like early 40s. He's human. Kind of average height, but a little bit. He has kind of a belly.
He's paunchy.
He's paunchy, yeah. Graying hair, but not gray hair, so it's like brown to gray. He wears spectacles, generally.
Any moles or
Any
birthmarks?
identifying marks that he would have?
He has a large face tattoo now.
He's got a big ass.
He's got a
face.
Mike.
Just
He's got a
says
Mike
science.
Tyson face tattoo. Yeah. No, he no like obvious identifying marks.
I mean,
Honestly, like the council's like we've only met him a handful of times.
You'd like him to come back to Commonwealth?
Well, he's missing. We'd like him to be not missing.
Well, we could escort him back to Pablo, perhaps.
Either would be sufficient.
just to like locate him,
Make
get
sure
a
he's
read on the sitch.
make sure he's not dead, and if he is dead, bring his body back.
Let's not be pessimistic.
I'm just being realistic.
I use the term zoologist loosely. It's probably more
Biologist.
yeah, an exobiologist focused on like
He's
plants
paleo.
mostly.
Okay.
He's what?
Nothing.
My guess is it would be more like a he studies flora versus fauna, so like an herbologist or an like arborist.
Oh,
Probably herbologist
I was gonna say arborist trees
specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
Science.
Science. Ray is really excited about this mission because Adelaide Kane is known for being one of the most prolific chefs / cookbook authors in all of Anathema. And I don't know where he is, but he's
What-
real excited.
What's the name of his most famous cookbook?
You'd have to ask Ray, because Ray has the full collection.
Ray.
He stormed out. He's fine. We'll get him before we go.
We'll get him.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to know, team?
If you are successful in bringing him back, there's a small stipend that we can provide everyone, with the exception of Skylark, based off of Commonwealth law.
Is there anything besides a boat that you can provide for us?
A small stipend pending your success.
Maybe like a map to get there, some guidance.
A map to Pablum?
Yeah.
It's north. Like,
Just go north.
I would
It's
think
due
that
north.
the colony due with mapping would have a map from its place,
Sure.
the big place.
Maps are actually very rare in
Right.
the region
We've
and
established
super
that.
expensive.
Yes.
So it would be like asking them for a map is essentially asking them for like a 2,500 gold investment in,
And I have no problem with that.
and they have no problem telling you no.
Well, who's been there before?
Several people. I mean, travel to Pablum is not uncommon.
Okay.
Like,
So we should
it's
be
on the
able
main
to
trade routes.
Find
Sure.
okay. So
Any-
we'll like find a crew who knows.
Is there any suggestion as to where we look for our own crew, or are we expected to be our own crew?
If I were you, I would look at the docks.
We're
I mean,
resourceful,
if you're
we
looking
can
for a
find-
cheap crew, the docks would be the place to go.
Captain Ornest has an idea.
Captain Ornast not allowed to be involved in any Commonwealth activities.
That's why we asked. That's why we talk about it out of the sides of our mouth like this.
He's probably not going to agree to that.
Maybe he will because he was
Wouldn't know if they'll make
lied a whole
decisions.
bunch.
Hey guys, you realize
Anyway.
we're doing this in front of the council, right?
Odd looks visibly annoyed at this point. It's just like, I don't.
Well, we got a lot of
Well.
work to do, so.
What a wonderful opportunity to explore a new place and meet some new and interesting people. I have
Always the
full
optimist.
faith that everything's going to work out, and we'll be seeing you soon.
I hope so.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any sort of magical device you can give us that we would be able to communicate with you should anything go wrong? Perhaps like a stone.
What?
Like a stone
A talking rock?
that you can talk into and it conveys messages.
No.
I've read about it.
I believe you, but not that I know of, no.
Are stones of sparse speech not a thing in 5th ed?
Sending stones?
Sending
They're a
Sending
thing.
stones?
Magic items are super rare. So
We're not in a high magic setting.
one of the things that is most different between the last campaign and this setting you were in and this campaign is the breach is down, which means divine access is now leaking into the world, which had a severely profound negative impact on the reliability of arcane magic.
Okay.
So while like magic items were very common 10, 15 years ago, a lot of them have lost their power.
Okay. So we're still on dial-up speed.
You're back to dial-up speed.
Okay. Awesome.
More or less.
Perhaps a trained bird.
Do you have a bird?
I have the name of a bird in mind.
What is the name of a bird you have?
Feathers.
Feathers? Yes, Odd says. You could definitely take this trained bird, Feathers, and if you required to send us message, it would find its way back here.
Great.
Is this
Feathers.
how
You know who I'm
talking to the
referencing,
council
right?
works, Lotus?
Like
you just
the
keep
person we
asking
did, like,
them
a
for
roast
things
with?
until they say yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
Is he like an admiral?
Ah.
No, it's not admiral.
I think it's Captain.
Captain Feathers. All right. That's cute.
I could
Are
be
we-
wrong.
Are you talking about Holly's bird?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Holly's real life bird.
Holly's real life bird.
Yeah.
Captain Feathers. Yeah, it's just Feathers. It has no rank. It hasn't earned its way up the Emerald Blades.
He will soon.
Soon, maybe one day.
Bombardier Feathers. It's technically in the Air Force.
Ray, you know you were really excited about this mission because you're going to find Adelaide Kane, and Adelaide Kane is the most well-respected and regarded chef/cookbook author in all of Anathema. They were curious what the name of his last cookbook was, and I told them that you would be the one to ask because you have them all.
Well, the most recent one is A Culinary Tour of the Glass Shores, which is a follow-up to his original volume, Volume 1 of Exotic Gastronomy of the Glass Shores.
It's true. He might be working
I should
on
write
his
that
third
down.
book. He might be working on his third book. The complete culinary tour of the Glass Shores.
The irreverent.
Everything in the glass
Go right
shores
on.
that can be put in one's mouth.
Whether you should or not.
Everything on the glass shore you can stuff into your maw.
Look, shit mushrooms.
We use them for money. Don't eat.
Welcome to Flavor Well.
I think we're done, and Odd is looking at us funny, so we should leave.
I'll do a very stagely.
On your way out the
bard
door,
bow.
you hear, and this is very rare, but on the way out the door, you hear Odd say, "Huh, flavor well." All right.
Flavor Well's got me right in my giggle dick.
Oh my god.
Never heard that noise come out of Elise before. That was...
Onwards to adventure!
Sure.
And by adventure, I mean hiring sailors.
Right. At dawn, we hire sailors.
Let's
So
go
I'm
get
assuming
the
that
kids
they would
from
have
the
told me
docks.
this when they got back to the college.
Yeah.
Oh, because you stormed out. Yeah.
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 So how long would we be going then?
You don't know.
As long as it takes.
As long as it
How,
takes.
did we find out how
Oh yeah,
far
you have like a job and stuff.
Pablum
It's a
is?
trial.
It's like a day and a half by
Okay.
boat.
So we'll be gone for like 4 days.
I'm gonna round that
Well,
up to
If everything
even
goes
week,
real
Please,
good.
yes.
possibly 10 days. So
If he's currently in Pablum, it will take 4 days.
Ah, well.
I expect
But you
he
know that
hasn't
he's
gone
not
far.
because they told you he's not in Pablum.
Okay.
I have a
It'll take
question.
3 days if he's unfavorable.
Okay.
Yes.
I expect he hasn't gone far.
Okay.
I will notify the inn that I'm going to need to be gone for a couple weeks. I will notify the Bards College that I'm accompanying them, and I assume they're blessing this because it could be just another huge chapter in the ongoing epic that
Sure.
they're eventually going to publish.
Sure. Also, there's a good chance if you didn't, they die. So,
And then I'll
even
just...
the college doesn't really trust them to be successful in these endeavors.
Right. I would at that point, I'm going to just go ahead and say that everything that's normally on my list I'm going to have, except I'm going to double up.
2 frying pans.
Yeah.
Dual shields.
Oh.
Pew, pew.
You know what I'm going to need to do is if we have a day of downtime, I need to move some drugs. So, how much money could I get for that 1 vial of the mushroom concentrate?
Make a.
Streetwise.
Yeah, I don't.
What
There's
does
not
it
really
exist?
like a skill for this.
Well, I mean, I am a 5th level rogue. I would consider myself pretty well connected.
Yeah, make a persuasion check. What's your background?
How about investigation? Because at least with that one, I don't have a minus.
Find the
I
person
mean, I'm
to
a
give
your
folk
back-
hero.
A folk hero.
Yeah.
Fine, I guess. I mean, you might not be the like. This might be a 2-man operation, right? Like you
Oh, I
might
see
want to
what you're
like.
saying. Yeah.
You might want to like employ someone who has the charisma to move product, versus like
A mule.
go up and look grumpy at somebody and be like, "Buy this!" Like,
Maybe raise the mule.
Okay. How about just knowing the value?
sure. The value. Make a nature check. A medicine check. Make a medicine check.
Dude needs a
This
brand
will make
name.
you freak out. Buy it.
Dr. Mushrooms,
16.
amazing liquid.
Yeah. So this vial could probably net you 700 or 800 gold.
Okay. So
Well, that's hefty.
in the in the hands of the right pusher man.
Right. And that would be like, do you want to divide it up? Do you want to like? It's concentrated. So do you
Yeah.
want to dilute it yourself,
No.
or do you want to risk someone else doing it wrong? Is the question.
Good
Do
point.
you want to
Because if
sell
you do
an
it yourself,
entire-
you can control it, and if you give it to somebody else and they screw it up, people could die.
Do you want to
For
sell a
instance.
12-year-old an entire kilo of cocaine, or?
Well, I think the idea would be to move it to somebody. Move up a portion of it to somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would cut it.
You would cut it yourself. Yeah. So you can get about 800 gold for this if you find like the right person to like help you move it, which could be somebody in town. Could be, I don't know. You're surrounded by bards.
All right. So
But-
discreetly, when no one else is around. So here's the thing, mate. You're gonna get really fat rich.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna give you 30%. That's a third. You haven't had to do anything except fascist spy and not fuck up the deal.
I'm on board.
It's going to take me about a day to portion this out and cut it. I know who you need to talk to, but I'm gonna let you do the talking.
So, Mateus, it occurs to you that the last thing you knew about these mushrooms is that they were food?
Yeah.
And this seems suspect. Not necessarily bad or wrong in any way. That's for you to decide.
Okay.
But it's definitely not what you expected these mushrooms to be used for.
Sure. How long did you said it was going to take a day to cut?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take like one of my sewing needles. I'm going to open up the file. I'm just going to like dip it into the solution.
Sure.
I'll be like, you come find me in a day. And I'll give you a hand. And I will just touch the needle.
Sure.
Like, does it still taste like food?
No.
Oh. Is it terrible?
Have fun for a day.
It's pretty bitter. Make a constitution save.
Sure.
Gonna be tripping for a day or two.
This makes the voyage on the sea much more bearable.
Right. Tyus is just like staring out over the side.
17.
Dang.
Great. So that means
You don't die.
you don't die. Yeah, roll a d4.
Uh-oh.
Is this meth?
3.
Okay. You It takes like 10 or 15 minutes, but after like 15 minutes, like the world around you kind of goes dark. Like you're still walking.
Yeah, I lead him to his bedroom. I'm like,
Sure.
I put on some Pink Floyd, maybe some Allman Brothers, and I just let him sit back and look out the window at the clouds.
Right. So you, about the time you get to your room, you're looking out the window, and all of a sudden your periphery just goes dark, and then in front of you, the window goes just, everything is red outside. And it seems like things are similar, / like, it reasonably that's what should be there, but things are very different. And if you look to the north, you hear quiet whispers in your ears about how soon we'll get the family back together. And very soon, we will have great power in this place. Not to worry, for you are my progeny.
Ew.
I don't hear the whispers, right?
You hear nothing. Yeah.
All right, mate, have fun. I go back to work.
His pupils are just huge.
He leaves, and I stay staring to the north out the window, just kind of like, I'm fucked up.
Yay.
So you get a full day of just that, and then 2 more days of other effects. Yay.
Holy
We're just gonna,
I'm not
guide
abandoning
you to
him.
the
So
boat.
like every meal I come, I guide him to the bathroom. I let him go potty. I take him back to his room, like clean him up a little bit, feed him some food. Every once in a while, I ask, like, I find like a youngish bard and be like, I need you to play calming harp music.
I want you to realize that the Bards College is largely uninhabited, and the only bards in the Bards College are at the table.
Every once in a while, I
We
get
are the
Nadir
college.
to come play nice
Sure.
music. And I tell Nadir to play nice music and not to mess with Michael.
I don't know that he's proficient
Nadir
in
doesn't play
instruments,
any
but
instruments.
He
I tell
actively,
Nadir to actively hum nice music.
okay, he's very good at humming. Yes, he's proficient in humming. Apparently,
It's on his
that's
character.
one of the things he chose.
It's all
he leans in, he's
Coheed.
like,
So when you come to bring him dinner, you hear Mateus mumbling about how the family will get back together, and
what you
the
mean by that?
family.
What you mean by the
together
family?
again. They'll get together soon, and they'll have power in the area. And soon they're going to be together.
Whose family?
Together again. All of them together again.
And then you hear one more word, and it's
Some sort of progeny.
frighteningly familiar. Yes. You hear the word progeny, which you'll recall was the word at season 2 that ended the season with a giant demon falling from the sky.
I remember.
Yeah.
Who's the father? Who's the father?
I mean, do I know?
Do you know who
What
your
I'm-
father is? Yeah.
My father is? I mean, yeah, I guess I would just always like, the family father is Rayvald.
Right, okay. And you're his progeny?
Yeah. Soon they'll have power in the area. They're all going to get together again.
Okay, listen, you know what? The clouds are beautiful today. Look at the clouds. Just watch the clouds.
The clouds are black and filled with wings and demony things.
Okay,
Bunnies.
don't look at the clouds. Yeah, look, you know what? Look at this nice room. I cleaned your room. It's nice and clean and organized. Look up.
The room is empty and filled with darkness.
How about this bowl of rice?
The bowl is full of ants.
Is this our new interrogation serum? We could just give this to our enemy.
Would you like some noodles? How about some noodles?
I mean, I don't feel like I need to tell you that the noodles are worms.
No? Okay. Just, you know what? Maybe just close your eyes and don't think about the noodles. Or I'll be back.
Can I be around?
I was gonna say, at some point, Iona
I go down the
walks
hall
by
and
the door with
knock
a
on
book.
Lotus's door. I'm like, do you think you could babysit him just for a little while?
What is?
Just don't talk about any kinds of food and just be nice to him. I'll be right back. I gotta go cook dinner.
Okay.
This
Sure.
I go back and cook dinner.
Okay.
And meanwhile, in between the main meals and the inn and getting all my equipment ready, I'm cutting the drugs.
I will sit.
Do you use the same tools to cut the drugs that you do to make the dinner?
No.
Okay. I just want to verify that you're not trying to start some sort of chaotic endeavor
there's two
here.
kitchens.
There's
the
the kitchen and then
there's
the
the
kitchen.
There's the kitchen,
Okay,
which
Walter.
is a stanky broom closet in the basement.
Right.
I see stars and I go to warp speed.
At some point, Iona walks by, like, the two of you trying to, like, calm down, and she's just like, this is what it's come to. And just keeps going.
I'm
Except in
patting
your
him on
mind,
the
it sounded like
shoulder.
this.
And I'm actually while eating his food too because I don't
Because
see.
it's not noodles and
No.
or worms and ants?
No, it's really good pasta and curry rice
Yeah.
because Ray is fantastic.
It's true. Ray, make a cooking check.
It's 11.
Okay.
It's decent.
Pretty good.
It's decent. Yeah.
You, Matthias, in your strange trance, someone taps you on the shoulder and kind of like pats you. And you feel like your mother is really going to help you through this. That this is a terrifying situation, but your mom's here, so it's going to be okay. Awesome.
I'll hold him, I guess, and say everything will be fine.
Grab like sleeve and
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You're a bit snotty now.
I prestidigitated away,
Okay.
Well played.
and I just. Are you sure you don't want to eat? It's really good food.
I like open my eyes till just the
Okay.
Make a perception check.
Sure.
Wow.
7.
Okay. That's fine.
Everything's
While we have fear and loathing in Commonwealth, what are you doing, Skylar?
Well, I've got some time before dinner, it sounds like, so I'm going to head out and recruit the best darn crew of sailors ever.
Oh God.
And by
that
that
you
I
can
mean
afford for
whoever
60
I
gold.
feel like inviting, who I'm friends with. So
All right.
a bunch of urchin
You know
kids.
lots of like urchin kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and
There's
surprisingly
Frankie
like
and George.
Frankie and George.
You
You
know.
better write these names down.
Well, those are the only two that I
Pins,
actually.
needles.
Pins and needles.
They're inseparable.
They're all lost boys.
Yeah.
pins and needles are twins.
Yeah.
We come. Oh, that's cute.
George.
We come down to the docks, and it's just a boat
Or is
full
it
of
Frank and
8-year-olds
Georgie?
wearing like
Either
eye
way.
patches, like
Lord of the
I'm
Flies.
mateys. Like,
Noodles.
Noodles, of
Needles.
course. those pins and needles, I like that.
Pins and needles are like we're
And that one quiet dude who nobody messes with.
They're both
What's
wearing
his
two
name?
eye
Simon.
patches.
Nobody knows. We don't mess with him.
Oh.
But I want him on my crew.
That one quiet dude. Parenthetical reference. Nobody messes with him.
And maybe a few people who actually know how to sail a boat.
So surprisingly, like this is a port town. So
Oh.
like occasionally these kids get like day work on boats. So they're not like a skilled crew, but they have the bare essentials necessary to be proficient.
Okay, then they'll do.
That's actually probably a full crew.
Nice.
They are not capable of captaining a ship in any means.
No, that's my job.
Are you capable of captaining a ship? You haven't been the most successful so far. You've been on a lot of boats that have not been well captained.
I have a pony who's the best swimmer
fair.
You
in
do
the
have-
shores.
You do have
Sebastian.
the best pony swimmer.
Sebastian.
To be fair, a lot of those ships that he's been on that have been poorly captained were captained by me.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Valid point.
I am the captain.
And they
now.
said just go north, so we'll just go
How
north.
hard can it be?
Cool. Perfect. So you have recruited the crew of Frankie George, Pins, Needles, and that one quiet dude. Nobody messes with him.
I bet the quiet dude's a fantastic captain.
Okay.
secretly he knows everything about captaining a
Then
ship.
I'll tell them we're going to start this amazing voyage to Pablum first thing in the morning. So,
3 days. Gotta move product. Gotta fund the trip.
first thing in the morning.
Okay, whatever you say, Captain. They like look visibly excited at the notion of calling somebody a captain because it means they're part of a real crew.
Oh.
Now I need a hat. Oh, I have a hat.
You do have a hat. You have a captain's hat. You stole it from the pirate when you killed him.
Yeah.
Black Timber.
Black Timber.
Well, I've got his sword and his hat.
It's true.
They
You're a
go
real life
together.
captain now. That's all it takes. Sword and a hat.
I've got the card.
May he rest in peace.
No, that was Admiral Doobad.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
right.
You don't have Admiral Doobad's hat. You have Captain Black Timber's hat.
I have a question, and I'm gonna write it down so I don't have to ask it again. The island with the shrub people is where in terms of Commonwealth?
West.
It's west. Okay, so not on this trip. Great.
I guess that brings up the potentially relevant point of, are you going to once again abandon Vesper, or are you going to bring him with?
No, we should definitely bring Vesper with because he's like
Forgot he
a
was here.
he's like a druid type almost guy.
Is he almost a druid type, or almost a guy?
He's a furbolg.
A little column A, a
Sure.
little column B.
I mean, I don't like to use words like furbog. That seems very labely and also copywritten. But
What do we
he's
call
definitely a
him?
forest folk.
A forest folk, yes. Well, as he is a folk of the forest, he should come along.
Can we call him Moonkin?
Moonkin.
No,
I
but you
like
can't call him crit chicken, because that's a euphemism.
Crit chicken.
A crit chicken?
That's a euphemism for moonkin, and what? Never mind.
You know what?
All right.
I
We're
get
off track.
I don't watch enough streams.
You don't play enough WoW.
So I head back to dinner. And as Ray is handing me my food, I'll go, guess what, Ray? I got the crew ready for tomorrow morning. We're going to Pablum.
We won't be able to quite do that, Skylark, because Matthias ain't going to be ready for a few days. He's deep in meditation. Very important.
We can't delay this trip, though. I feel this urge to go. I feel like I'll take a significant amount of damage if I don't go tomorrow.
It's true, he might.
All right. Let's make a deal. How are we going to pay for this trip? Because the problem is, see, I don't have any money for another 3 to 4 days.
It's all right. I'll take care of it.
But do you have enough money? Who's renting the boat?
No, they're supplying us with a boat.
You don't know
All
that.
we have to do is pay for the crew.
Right, so who's paying for the crew?
I am.
You have a lot of money?
It's only a 4-day trip.
And their children.
Potentially.
2 ways
Also,
there,
he's
2 days
exploiting
back.
child labor.
2 days there, 2 days back, right? 4 days. So, a dozen men.
The boat won't fit a dozen men. It's a small crew.
How many
Don't
people you got?
overthink it, Ray. Just live in the moment.
Right. I'm all about living in the moment, see. But the problem is we have to make sure that Matthias has time to meditate. He won't be able to fight or anything else like that. So we have to make sure that the crew's competent and just in case something happens.
They know how to sail.
Yeah, not just sailing, proper sailors and if necessary, fighters, defenders. If remember that time we was on the boat, Skylark, and those big chunks of blobby fish creatures came out, and a couple times that happened. Remember, fights happened.
Well, we'll just, you know, if we see some blobby chunks, we'll go around them.
Right, but what if they came up? And Matthias couldn't help us fight. See, that's what I'm thinking of. We got to make sure that we... How about this? Let's split the difference. Why don't you say we'll sail the day after tomorrow? Could that work? Just one extra day. What if you waited on the boat, and then we joined you, and we actually left port the day after tomorrow?
I'm sorry. I don't want to disappoint you, Ray, but we're leaving tomorrow. The captain has spoken.
Right. Lotus, Iona, are we really sailing tomorrow? Do we have to?
We can just put this one in a crate.
Right.
I was under the impression that we weren't leaving immediately.
Right. We have to get food and rations and whatnot.
I don't trust him on a. I'm got him like this.
Is he meditating right now?
You actually went and checked your boat. It's fully stocked, ready supplied. Ready to go.
I've got Matthias like this. I don't know if he's ready to. Are you ready to sail? He's not ready to sail.
He's not ready.
His response is, "We'll have power in the land.
Yeah.
Progeny. We'll have power in the land."
We'll just crate him.
What happened to
And
him?
like a lobster. And
I don't know. Why?
I like that in your world, Tritons have pet lobsters.
What happened to him?
He told me to go do my work and to come get him tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta go do my work and then come get him tomorrow, which is why we can't leave tomorrow.
What?
But I suppose we could leave the day after that.
What work?
I'm getting all the things together to make the money that we need to pay our
How much
debts.
money do we need?
How are you making this
I
money?
have no money right now.
Oh,
Zero.
okay.
So, you know, I was thinking maybe we'd need about 700 or 800 gold, and then we
That's
can
a lot of gold.
we can cover all of our costs.
You guys are watching as Matthias is actively getting naked.
Hot!
wait, are you gonna reveal your secrets if you get naked?
Takes off pants, takes off jacket, leaves gloves on.
He's covered in tattoos. It's real exciting.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Let me go back to the
I'm
kitchen and get
these
some
are
more
my-
stew.
Oh God.
Is this how we're making the money?
Iona just
his
pushes him
tattoos
into
are
his
actually,
room and
like,
shuts the door.
You've seen like a little bit of his tattoos before. You had
Yeah.
no idea that it was this like holistic
Oh.
over his body. They also look to be like infected a bit because they're like
Ew.
radiating like irritation levels of red.
Ugh. Can I make a medicine check?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that.
Those tats look sick.
Great, that's a 10.
He's on drugs.
And I'm not being metaphorical.
You're not real sure like how these drugs are interacting because you're not familiar with these drugs.
These drugs?
But this is for sure not like typical.
These drugs
Ray has absconded,
surround
hasn't
me
he?
when I close my
Have you
I went in the
absconded?
kitchen.
He's in the kitchen.
I'm gonna go find Ray. Ray! Ray!
What, yes. What is it?
What did you give Matthias?
I didn't give him a thing.
Matthias,
It's
are
true, he
you
didn't.
feeling all right? I'll go over to him.
Not lying. Now,
Do you want
Lois, I'm not
whatever
gonna
this
I'm
is,
not gonna mince
you
words.
want me to make it go
If
away?
you're asking me what he took a very, 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 very small, like tip of a needle, drop of a very concentrated unguent. I'm an apothecary.
An unguent.
Yeah,
An
yeah,
unguent.
right.
Okay, what?
Brings you into the spiritual world. That's all I know.
I lay on hands.
It just opens up all your senses.
I can cure any poison or disease with the touch of my hand.
Don't ruin this.
This is what
Don't take this away from me.
I'm being in character.
It's fine.
Else you're
He'll be
wearing-
fine in a couple of days, love.
Prince Paladin of
You are immediately brought out of your intox. It cures any poison or disease.
Mhm.
Okay. You're immediately pulled out of your intoxication, And your tattoos that are now fully exposed to everyone around you are
Everything else.
glowing as if you were casting racial spells.
Is this what you're trying to move?
Oh, it looks like you're feeling better.
Are you at least cutting it first?
Right, that's what I'm doing.
So you're
other
leaving the
kitchen.
room and running down the hallway
Into my
mostly
bed,
naked.
into my room.
Okay.
Or come back with like a robe.
Shut up like Burrow.
Just
Fine. I will take care of this. Him. Could you at least tell us first?
You're welcome.
I didn't know he was going to do it. I didn't tell him to do it. He just did it.
You know what? That sounds just like him. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I go back upstairs. That's fine.
After you recover, I look at you and go, I will never forget this. And then I go find Vesper.
He feels violated.
Ew, not like that.
Getting
Lotus,
to know
you-
Getting to know things about you.
It's not public domain, stop it. Lotus, you get back upstairs and find a surprisingly salient Mateus, who is not at all under an intoxication, which is surprising to you because you've not ever encountered that level of transition that abruptly.
Uh-huh. I feel your forehead.
Feels fine.
What happened in the 5 minutes I was gone?
this guy touched me.
That was
Okay.
apparently good touch, not bad touch.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That seems peculiar to you,
It does.
but Sky is a peculiar person. So
I am just gonna go with it.
Oh,
Right now.
great. Do you want him to touch you too?
No. I feel fine and no. Stop making it
I am fine and good.
Okay. I have a lot of opinions about things.
And I'd love to hear them all, and I'd like turn your shoulders as we both leave the door, and I like walk you out of the room. I'd like to hear them someday, but right now I need to sell drugs to kids. I'll see you later. And I'll bound down the hallway.
are you still in a robe?
No, I got dressed. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I swear to the gods, if my boat crew is tripping tomorrow,
Not like me, but I'm sure Ray will have figured out a way to cut it. I'll go to the restaurant where Ray is at, and I'll be like,
You might be overstating the luxury of the place he works, but the place he cooks drugs is a broom closet in the basement. But yeah, restaurant, sure.
It works.
Yeah, I'll say
That's
no,
what we call it.
I'll
a
say if you're
restaurant.
looking as he leaves, I'll say if you're looking for Ray, he's downstairs.
okay. Boy, I could go for a bowl of those worms and ants that he made. Those were
They were noodles and rice,
better than I thought they would be.
and they were very good.
Downstairs, you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go together.
Downstairs.
Pew.
Are you using
I
your
like to
bardic
think-
abilities to get
I like to
downstairs?
think that like my bardic abilities allow me a certain amount of tumbling downstairs face first, just pew, and then tuck and roll in like a little into
Fair
a
enough.
Link style tuck and roll.
Fair enough.
Totally take
Remove-
like half a heart of damage.
Remove one of your bardic inspirations for the day.
Sweet. Oh.
no freestyle moves.
Mr. Rollhead. Yep.
You get downstairs, and Ray is down there. Are you cooking food at this point, or drugs? Okay. Ray is down there, clearly cooking drugs. Ray, you seem very surprised that he is cogent at all.
How you feeling, mate?
Super.
Excellent. Well, I've got about half the batch. Now,
Half.
this is all cut. Now, I know a man. He's the kind of man who can move all this, and all we need to do is go talk to him, mainly with me being there, and you doing the talking.
Okay.
Way I figure it, this half goes for 400. If he moves it and he likes more of it, the other half we'll sell him when we get back for 600.
Who's the man we need to talk to?
His name? Ricardi.
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 Ricardi. All right, that's fine.
Ricardi.
Right.
That's interesting.
What are you calling this product that, possibly against my better judgment, I have allowed you to introduce to my setting?
Well, you remember that the mushrooms were purple,
Like me.
and now I cooked them down, and they're a nice juice, so we're going to call them Purple Lotus.
Oh, your drugs.
I'm drugs.
That's fair. It's better than the name I have, so let's go with that.
I'm
It was either going to be Purple Lotus or Sex Fist, but
No, that's Purple Lotus is a good
because
name.
I figured they'd like
That's,
sex and they knock you out, but
Right, no, I follow. I follow.
Let's
Purple
go with
Lotus is
Purple
probably
Lotus.
better,
It's
you
a
know,
little
for
more ambiguous.
marketing purposes. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Reasons my 10-year-old can't watch this show.
You know, so McCarty, Muracardi. Is that
Muracardi.
Put an apostrophe in it.
Is that a Volante name? That's okay.
Ricardi B.
he was a captain in one of the gangs in Vol, and came here to the Glass Shores because, well, it was either that or the gallows. And he made some kind of deal. The Blades leave him alone.
Okay. Is he expecting me, or is this going to be a cold call?
I'm gonna go
he said
talk to
you'll-
him.
He said he'll.
I'm gonna
be
get
with you.
word to him that we want to meet up with him tonight at midnight.
Sure.
I know where he meets up, so I'm gonna go give him word to one of his underlings, and then you and me will go there tonight.
Is he a drug person? Is he? I've
He's
never
got his
done
fingers
this
in a
before.
lot of different things.
Okay.
He's been around the block. He sees value in things that other people.
You know him specifically for the consumables he moves,
Yeah.
but he's known to move several things.
Right. So I dip out, zigzag,
Sure.
tell somebody that I need
Sure.
to see with them tonight, zigzag back.
Mateus.
I'm going to jack rations so that if we do leave on the ship tomorrow, I'm not ill-equipped.
Okay.
But you said the ship has all the stuff we need?
It's stocked, yeah.
Okay.
It's not like stocked with great food,
Yeah.
but it's stocked
But
with
just
like
rations.
rations.
Okay.
Hardtack.
I want a cut of this, or I'm telling everyone you called me mother.
A what?
I want a cut of this, or I'm telling everyone you called me mother.
When did I call you?
When you were out of it.
Oh, and you also took a nap with Nadir. I can't say what happened, but
You didn't take a nap with a deer. I would never let that happen to you.
You weren't there the whole time.
As far as I know, you didn't take a nap with a deer.
and Skylark, he touched you in more than one way.
Yeah, but that felt fantastic.
Everyone saw your dick.
Roll a d10.
And this is why your 10-year-old can't watch it.
Could we just say 3D4? It's a little kinder. I mean,
15 gold
moving
and
on.
keep your mouth shut.
15?
To keep your mouth shut.
15 and that's worth 400?
I'm not getting 400 out of this. He's not cutting me in for that
What's
much.
your cut?
I don't know. He said something about 30. I'm getting 30. I'll give you half of that.
30 gold.
He only said 30. You can have half. That's 15 gold.
I would like to roll an insight check.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the total?
The total?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where are you?
Because his deception is outrageous.
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
26.
24.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You know he lies a lot.
I do.
But in this instance, you're not sure. You can never tell with him.
This is true. I don't trust you.
That doesn't bode well.
Yikes. Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't help that, Lotus. We did name it after you.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about the implications of that in the near future.
I feel like she should get more than 15 gold for naming rights
Naming
alone.
rights.
But
That's
Talk
a
to him
solid
about residuals.
10%.
I'm just the front man here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask him for money when you were taking care of me?
No, he
As
didn't.
far as I know, babysitters ain't free.
I was doing it as a favor to you because you looked real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Well, I was fine.
You weren't.
I was going to be fine. I ended up fine.
Yeah, thanks to Skylark and his shenanigans.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but if Skylark didn't have shenanigans, who knows how long you would have been like that?
3 days.
I feel like it couldn't have been more than a few days. Tops. I've eaten a lot of weird things in the forest.
It's true.
I went to find Vesper.
You did. And you find him. He's like... Urban life might not have been the most...
We have left him to his own devices for like a long time.
And it looks like he's been sitting in a bar the whole time.
Oh no. Oh. Hey, you knew that you could go outside, right?
Did I know? Yeah, but why? This is delicious. And
How
it makes
are
me
you-
feel so good.
How are you paying for all of this?
Oh, I just told him to put it on the Bards College tab.
Oh my god, he's been drinking for a month!
Yeah, he has.
You've done a bad thing.
What?
You've done a really bad thing.
I did the best I could. I didn't know what else to do. You left, and then I figured that I would just... I came here for you.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I know.
You asked me to come here,
Yep,
and then you left for a month.
yes. You should come with me now. And
Okay.
we're gonna worry about this situation when we come back. Because I need you, and I also think that you'll be very interested. We're gonna not drink anymore, which is gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough boat ride for you.
And he's on a boat. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I also have had bad history with boat rides, but you're gonna get through it, and we are going to go meet. I forgot his name already because. Thank you. We're going to go meet Adelaide Kane. Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay. Well, he's a biologist. He's very good at knowing
Oh.
things in the forest. You're good about knowing things in the forest. Similar interests. You're coming with me now.
Oh. So you're not... I get to go with?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then you're gonna... If I leave you, you should follow. We're gonna establish that right now.
What?
If I go somewhere, you should follow me most of the time.
But you
Not to
We're gonna
took...
put an
Pretty.
incidental
But
on
you
that.
you took a boat. I don't know how to make a boat go.
Yeah. Well, like, just follow.
But how? Like if you
We'll talk about
take
it
a
later.
boat.
You know what? We're gonna talk about it later. But for now, we're gonna go.
Okay.
Yep. What bar is he in?
Just some like rough and tumble bar on the docks.
It's called the Rough and Tumble.
It's called the Rough and Tumble. It's owned.
Who's here?
It's owned by proprietors Ruff and Tumble.
Awesome.
That's their names.
Of course.
Don't we already have a Rough and Tumble?
No, that's the thing I wanted to name our 2 dogs one day.
That's right. Oh.
Aww.
We have to talk about that.
No, we don't. I don't want dogs anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want 2 dogs.
Yeah. We can name the multiple cats we
Nope.
have in the future. That.
Um,
Yep, that's canon. It's on
Pelt and
camera.
slippers.
Pelt and slippers. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
This is why your daughter can't watch the show.
Yeah.
Outdoor cats. What?
So I go up to the guy who owns the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Oh, hello. Are you with Vesper here?
Yes, I am my own Amor. That's right. And how substantial is the tab?
He's been here quite a while. It's 726 gold.
No.
Did you ever think that it might be irresponsible to keep feeding him?
Did you ever
Alcohol?
think that maybe you shouldn't tell me how to run my business?
Oh, when it's irresponsible, I think I have a small right.
How is it irresponsible?
To create an alcoholic?
I
I
don't.
think that's a little irresponsible.
Point of order. You're once again you're attributing like modern U.S. terminology to
Oh, that's
a
true.
setting that doesn't necessarily
man.
have a notion of alcoholism.
That's true. You've created somewhat of an addict. I think that's pretty.
That's the point of selling a product.
Yes,
Sure.
it is. Gotta feed the
Why are we doing this under the
monkey.
table again?
Well, I don't
Can't we
like
just open
it.
up a
So I think that it's bad. And at the very least, you could have provided him with some kind of bulk discount.
That is the bulk discount.
Oh God.
He's been here a month. He's very large. Do you know how much he drinks?
No.
We just started selling him casks, like kegs at a time, because it was rude to charge him per cup.
And at what point did you think you were actually going to have this bill paid?
End of the month. That's how tabs generally work here.
Really? Okay. Well, we're gonna go now. So
So we'll just talk to the college about the bill.
yeah, you can talk to Dagmere.
To Dagmere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
You'll find out. He works at the college. You'll have to talk to him about it.
All right.
Yep. Goodbye. And if he comes here again, he's not allowed. I just want to point that
That's
out.
not something I'm willing to say. No.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have problems if you allow him
fine.
to keep drinking here.
I suppose we might have problems then.
And while I'm very polite now, I can be very annoying and also scary.
I believe the former for sure.
Yeah. Do you want an annoyance?
I mean, if the annoyance comes with money, sure.
How much is money really worth to you?
I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
I can be so annoying.
Starting to get it.
Yep. So do we have a deal?
No.
Okay.
Would you like a drink?
Nope.
Okay.
We will eventually.
All right.
Cool. Enemies.
His name is
Enemies.
either Rough and or Tumble. I don't know
Okay.
which one you were talking to. You tell me.
Cut to be determined, but I don't trust you.
Rough and tumble. Okay, so
Just
I
gonna
bring
spend it on hookers.
annoy till they die.
Oh my god.
It appears as if he's been annoyed to death.
Yeah.
In
This
you don't
episode of the
know.
Bards Tale,
You don't know
the gang
kind
learns
of,
the dangers of drugs and alcohol.
right. You don't know the kind of letter writing campaign that I can undertake. So I take Vesper.
I didn't realize Commonwealth needed a DARE program. But,
Right.
It's not fair. Dare makes things
Doesn't
worse.
Yeah,
need
Dare
one,
doesn't
actually.
work. So I bring Vesper back to the college. I bring him back to the kitchen, not the restaurant. And
Not there.
Yeah,
you're not at the kitchen? Is
No.
anyone in the kitchen?
Ooh, someone's booty.
But there's food in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a kitchen.
Yeah. I get him like things that absorb alcohol, bread,
Fried pickles.
fried pickles.
Hey,
You know,
Vesper, how
the
are you
jar of
feeling?
fried pickles that every kitchen has.
I'm feeling fine.
I feed him, and then I bring him back up to our dorms, where I spread out a blanket on the couch. You sleep here now.
Oh.
You don't go back to bar.
So you watch. He's a half giant, and
Yeah.
so you watch as he like lays on the couch, and most of him is hanging over one or the other end of the couch.
Yeah.
Whoops. Doesn't work.
I put an end table to hold his feet up. I'm 6 feet tall. I know how to do this.
Fine.
It's not ideal. We're leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
So sober up. If you have to
Okay.
puke, there's a bathroom over there.
Is there? Is that something we've
It's a
established?
dorm.
That's
She
also a
just
medieval
points at
town.
Nadir's room.
Like,
There's a bathroom down that.
The chamber pots are located.
Right
That
here.
way.
Yeah.
In each
Yeah,
chamber.
I show him where to do the stuff, and
just to clarify, is that in fact Nadir's room, or
no, it's
Okay.
not.
And hands him his pillowcase. Here, make your
that's-
business.
Slurp. Yeah. Don't go anywhere that's not here or the restroom until I come get you.
I'm regretting coming with you.
That's not my problem. And then I go to find everyone else.
Okay.
It's late.
It is late.
How late?
It's almost midnight.
It's almost midnight.
And then I just go to bed.
I'm playing the bedtime song on my lute.
So you have set up an appointment
Yeah, we go.
to meet with McCarty. To sell him a large amount of drugs to get off island, presumably. Yeah.
So this is half of the vial cut out, which we can.
you can probably make. There's probably like 40 doses.
Yeah, I was figuring.
Are they just in individual files?
Right.
Right. So it looks like insulin vials, like the little ones. So that's essentially like it's gone from like one like that size vial of like concentrate to like
I want to.
what will be 80.
I want to
insulin
take an
size
empty
vials.
one of those little files. And what color is the fluid in these little files?
It's like a purplish, like a pale purple.
Okay. I will fill one with like enough wine and water to make it roughly as pale purple as this stuff.
You have a disguise kit, sure. You're proficient in disguise. That seems like a thing that would be relevant.
And just keep one tucked away.
Speaking
The
of
fake one.
disguises, when he leaves, I would like to wait for an appropriate amount of time, cast disguise self on myself, and follow him.
Oh.
Okay. Sure. Roll an investigate or a perception check.
What am I holding on?
Stealth.
Is it a 13 or an 18? It's an 18.
That's
Dang. I only go with
Dang.
13.
23.
Yeah, you're being followed.
By...
You're not sure.
By some guy.
A man with a
Some
mustache.
dude.
A
I was just wondering what she disguised herself as.
a nondescript human person who's not real. I'm not like following him. Like I just want to see where he's going.
Sure.
So yeah, I
You're being
follow
followed
I'll make a note of it.
By May
by a
Whitman.
nondescript human person.
By
Okay.
May Whitman.
I'll make a note of it, and I'll like quietly lean into Ray and be like, by the way, Ray, we have company on this meeting.
No surprise.
Do with that
As you
info.
enter an alley, you hear,
I go to the side door.
oh, it's not inside.
Oh, okay.
It's like in an alley.
Oh, okay. We're not meeting
You're
up
like
in the alley.
entering an alley as you're like, by the way, we have company on this. And you hear a booming voice that says, company! Hmm? And we'll find out next time. Loud that company.